Who is doing it? One of the classic pointers in non-dualism is I am not the doer. In other words, I'm not the doer of my deeds. I'm not the actor of my actions. I'm not the one with agency. Now, that's a pretty weird pointer if you've grown up in the common sense that I'm the one doing it all. I'm responsible for my actions. My day job is teaching people about accountability, so it's a particular stress for me. And I've played with that pointer over the years and looked at it and intellectually embraced it. But a few weeks ago, I said, let me really try this one. Let's try living it. And I set out to have that perspective throughout the day. I had to remind myself at different times. But it was a really interesting experiment. First thing I noticed is that everything got done. I didn't end up just staying in bed. I didn't stop taking care of my clients. I didn't stop paying the bills. All the stuff that needs to get done got done. In fact, maybe even more got done. And the other thing that happened, and maybe the real benefit, was life got easier. And in two ways in particular. One is this sense of a giant to-do list, this burden that I often experience, disappeared. I had to remind myself a few times. I would find the thought showing up. I need to do that next. And I would say, well, I'm not doing it. And it's like, oh. And then often what happens, it would get done. And I found performance anxiety dropped away. Well, I have to be really on for that meeting. And I'd just say, well, I'm not doing the meeting. And once again, the meeting happened and it went well, but I did it with less anxiety. So I found life got more delicious and everything got done. I think even more got done. It did open a deeper look at the question of who is doing it. And there, one answer, and there are others you could go to, but is my system's doing it? This mind-body system that has evolved and developed and has all these practices, and it just keeps functioning. And maybe it's what was doing it all the time. I just identified and thought I was in there directing it. But the mind-body system was doing what it needs to do. And I get to be there in the sense of the space in which all of it's happening. And that's a much more delicious place than being anxious about what you have to do or how you'll perform. And it continued to open up some really interesting vistas there. I invite you to try the experiment. Take on, you are not the doer, and just see what happens. I think you'll find something delicious there. But if you don't, just stop the experiment. I don't think you'll find any harm. Anyways, I hope you try it, and thanks very much for listening.